Last night, I just watched The Marvels, and I have a lot of thoughts. And if y'all would like me to give you my unhinged review of a very bad movie, let me know. Because I have so many thoughts about that movie. Yeah, it was bad. Okay, there was listen, it wasn't like, I mean, I didn't even see Morbius, but it wasn't like Morbius bad, but and also, caveat, this is me talking about how bad this movie is from a feminist perspective of Marvel doesn't know how to write women, and we deserve better movies than this, and not oh, ladies superheroes bad. No, I want more female superheroes, and these ones are disappointing. Okay, a couple people want the thoughts. Okay, so first of all, lots of spoilers for this movie, but it's bad, and even knowing what happens will not ruin your experience, because there's no, like, big plot twist. In fact, the entire plot doesn't matter because of what happens at the end. So, the plot of this movie, okay? Let me make sure I'm on the right side of this. Marvel movies aren't, like, prestigious film or anything by a country mile, but The Marvels was really disappointing. Yeah. And it was especially disappointing after... So, I think I've said before on stream for y'all how much I don't care about, like, Star Wars and Marvel. I say that, but I've seen almost all of the modern Marvel movies, except for... I haven't seen a ton of this stuff after Endgame, but I watched... What was the Scarlet Witch show called? Was it just called Scarlet Witch? I wanted to watch the Scarlet Witch show and the Loki show when they came out, but I had not... When they came out, I had not seen anything past Doctor Strange, so... last year or so, or I guess it was 2 years ago maybe now, I watched just everything I had missed so that I could watch the Scarlet Witch show, and the Scarlet Witch show was my favorite thing they've done. Here's the thesis of this whole thing. Marvel can't write women for some reason. No one is allowed to be feminine. Masculinity is the only value that women should have, according to Marvel. And for some reason, Scarlet Witch is the only thing they've made where they let the character actually be feminine. There's not a ton of female Marvel superheroes, but of the ones we have, no one's ever wearing a dress. Okay, and like, this is a silly thing to complain about, but as somebody that is very into costumes, why can't we have at least one goddamn superhero who has a cute outfit? Scarlet Witch is the only one that has gotten a big, cute outfit. That was, like, girly. Yeah, WandaVision. WandaVision was the Scarlet Witch show. Yeah, no, I have no mouth and I must nya said WandaVision was the first Marvel thing they saw besides Guardians, and they thought it was great. That show is great. That show is so different than anything else they've done, and it was so good. Anyway, so the plot of the Marvels goes like this. There's this bad guy whose name I don't remember, but she is the leader of the Kree. And the Kree are these alien people that look like people. They look like regular people. They're aliens, though. And and some of them are blue. The bad guy is the leader of the Kree, okay? The Kree's planet is dying. Like, their atmosphere is dying. And their sun is, like, up. Like their sun, like the thing that brings them light every day, it's up because of something Captain Marvel did that I don't know anything about, because I don't know anything about Captain Marvel. But the Kree's sun is dying. The plot is that the bad guy is trying to, like, open warp points which are basically just made up magic space vacuums. She wants to put her stupid space vacuum by this other planet so she can suck out its atmosphere, okay? That's the threat level. So, while she's doing this, okay, somehow, it's not really explained why, and it's not really explained how, and it's also never explained why. Like, none of this gets explained. And it's stupid. It's just magic, and it's a plot device. But Captain Marvel, who's the blonde lady, Captain Rambo, I don't know what her super name is, but that's what her character's name is. Captain Rambo, who is like, she was in WandaVision, actually. Captain Rambo is in WandaVision. Her, who gets powers in WandaVision, and then Kamala Khan, who is the only thing worth watching this movie over. So, Kamala Khan is Miss Marvel, and she has these special powers because of this bangle that that her grandma sent to her. It's some kind of, like, lineage. I don't know. She has powers. You know what? She basically has Steven Universe's powers. She can make, like, shields and like, make things to jump on and make big fists to punch people with. So, the three of them, their powers are somehow connected, but they don't really tell you why, right? But their powers get connected because of this magic space vacuum. And then every time they use their powers, they start switching places. So, Kamala Khan, who is like 14 years old, she's like a teenager, okay? She's like at home, and then she gets teleported into the middle of space because all of this switching stuff is happening. So those are the three Marvels. They are switching around, okay? The switching never really gets explained. Like, they just say it's because their powers come from the same source. But, Captain Rambo's powers come from Scarlet Witch's powers. Like, she has her powers because she, like, walked through the barrier in WandaVision. So I don't really understand how her powers are linked to Captain Marvel and not Scarlet Witch. But okay. And Kamala gets her powers from this bangle thing. So I also don't understand why they're linked, but they are because plot device. They needed a plot device because if you're unfamiliar, Captain Marvel is like a nuke in the Avengers. She's like really overpowered. Like she can just do whatever the she wants. And so she could just easily just like kill the bad guy, but they needed a nerf for her, right? So they had them start switching places so there can actually be a movie, because the movie is really, really pointless, because, spoiler for the end of the movie, Captain Marvel just has the power to go fix the Kree's son, which she does at the end. She just goes and fixes it. The entire movie is pointless. Whole movie pointless. But no, we got this switching thing. And I will say, there's this really funny part that did make me, like, actually laugh out loud. They're switching places, and Captain Marvel still hasn't quite figured out what's going on, and so she starts flying, and then she switches places with Kamala in midair. So now Kamala Khan, the 14-year-old, is falling from the sky, and Captain Rambo is standing on the ground, and Nick Fury, who is in this movie, Nick Fury's in the movie, he's like, okay, go save her. You gotta fly now. It's time for you to learn how to fly. And Captain Rambo's like, I don't know how to fly. I've never done that before. And he's like, use your core. And then he goes, and it was actually really funny. And then the scene goes on. They're trying to catch her, yada, yada, yada. And then as somebody falls to the ground, but they switch right before they fall to the ground. And so Captain Marvel just falls flat on her face onto the ground. And Nick Fury just goes, and Captain Marvel's like, invincible, so not a big deal. And Nick Fury is just like, oh, it's cool, y'all. It's just Carol. And I thought that was funny. And so the movie gets points for Samuel L. Jackson's comedic timing. They're like running around trying to stop the bad guy. Somebody says, I feel like the only reason this movie was made was because Marvel has multiple characters named Marvel. Yeah, true. Sam Jackson carries, he does carry. He honestly, him and whatever the actress's name that plays Kamala Khan, they both did great. I will say, okay, so I had literally watched reviews of this movie of people talking about how bad it was, but nobody mentioned the singing. There is random singing in this movie. So they go to this planet, and on this planet, everyone speaks in song. And there is some really badly ADR'd. If you don't know what ADR is, it's the technical term for dubbing something over. There's some dubbed singing over this child that is so mismatched with the mouth of the child that it's so jarring. And then Captain Marvel starts singing, and it's clearly not that actress's voice, and it's also ADR'd in and doesn't match with her lips at all. And I was like, okay, this actually could have been really funny if you just had Brie Larson just, like, sing really bad. Like, does it even make sense for Captain Marvel, who was like a fighter pilot, to know how to sing? I don't think so. So it would have been funnier if they just had her sing badly. That would have actually been funny. It was a Marvel musical. No, they just start singing. And the singing part was only in one scene, but I literally haven't seen anybody talk about the singing. And then the movie gets even wilder, because in the next part, and I'm not making this up, okay? If in this movie, there's this cat, but the cat is not an actual cat. It's an alien called a Flargle, which has definitely been in some other Marvel movie. Like, I think maybe it was in one of the Guardians movie, but it was definitely in Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel has the cat. But the cat is an alien that has tentacles in its mouth, and it can eat stuff with the tentacles, but not kill it, and then spit it back out. Okay? So it can just, like, and then spit it back out later, right? So, B-plot, Nick Fury is on this, like, spaceship, like this big spaceship with a lot of people on it, and the spaceship is going down somehow. I don't remember how. But the Flargle, while they're on the ship, has, like 500 babies. So there's, like, 500 kittens running around this spaceship. I'm not making this up. This is actually in this movie. This is how weird the Marvels is. So there's, like, 500 cats running around the spaceship. And they only have one escape pod left. So instead of, I don't know, Captain Marvel flying the entire ship down to Earth because she could totally do that, they need to be funny. And what they do is they're like, okay, y'all, we can't fit all of these crew members in this one escape pod, so stop running away from the cats and let the cats eat you. And then we're gonna put all of the cats in the escape pod and send the cats back down to Earth with you in the cats' bellies. And then the cats will spit you out when you get back to Earth. Don't worry, you won't die. And that's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do in that movie. Who thinks of that kind of thing? So yeah, then the movie ends with the bad guy trying to steal our sun, Earth's sun. So, of course, the stakes in a movie where they have an entire crew of people getting eaten by cats to get saved, they have the stakes be, oh, the sun is going to die. Because, of course, that's the right tone for a movie where people just break into song for no reason and people get eaten by cats. But yeah, our son's gonna die. So basically what happens is they beat up the bad guy, and then the bad guy rips a hole in space-time and dies, and then they have to sacrifice Captain Rambo, and Captain Rambo has to close the hole because she can do that for some reason. Don't know why. She can do that, but Captain Marvel can't do that. Don't know. Doesn't matter. And then at the end of the movie, Captain Marvel just goes and fixes the Kree's son, which was the entire plot point that the bad guy was mad about. So the entire movie was pointless. It was one of the most convoluted and stupid plots, like nothing. Everything about the plot screamed, it's this way because we need to make a movie. You know? And that's not my thing. Mac's exactly right. In the MCU, Marvel has really shown that they don't know how to utilize or write around Captain Marvel's power. They say it's not like that in the comics. And yeah, and I agree. They have no idea how to handle this character that's basically a nuke. And also they don't know how to give her any personality at all. Like there's a part where, Captain Rambo is, like, about to die, and Captain Marvel is like, don't do that! You'll be trapped! And it's just, like, the most, like, devoid of emotion line read ever. And I'm not blaming that on Brie Larson, I'm blaming that on the directors, because that is, you know? Oh, but I will say, Kamala Khan in the movie is very cute. Her character is just cute. Oh, but I hate the outfit they gave her. They gave her the ugliest outfit for her superhero outfit. But no, she's like this. She's basically just like a little nerdy teenager who loves Captain Marvel so much, which is the only thing that's unbelievable about her character, that anybody would like Captain Marvel that much when they made her personality bread. But in the part where they're in, like, the singing planet, the people are, like, dancing and stuff, and Kamala's just, like, badly dancing with them. It's very cute. She's just so excited. You want to watch her and nobody else. And he's like, did she know the sun needed to be fixed the entire time? Yeah, because she f***ed up the sun. She f***ed up their sun and then wouldn't go fix it. And then this is the thing, is she's like, this is how the conversation literally goes. Captain Rambo is like, Carol, why don't you just go fix their son? And Captain Marvel's like, I've never done anything like that before. I don't know if I could do that. And Captain Rambo's like, I've done a bunch of stuff today that I didn't know I could do. And that's what convinces Captain Marvel that she has the ability to rebirth a son. Was a motivational speech. What? Not even a speech. It was a motivational line. Somebody's like, Carol, you can do it. And she's like, I can do it. Yeah, you're a nuke. It's a pretty wild movie. Yeah, somebody's like, this plot makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense and it's pointless. And there was so much, like, spoon-feeding stuff. Like, there's the bad guy has the other bangle that is supposed to be Kamala's, which I guess the whole movie's plot was to get Kamala her other bangle. The bad guy's bangle. The bad guy has the same power bangle that Kamala has. When Captain Marvel or Kamala or Captain Rambo attack the bad guy, if the bad guy blocks it with the bangle, then the power is absorbed, right? And that is very easily visually shown to the viewer with the VFX by the bad guy's, like, face. She makes, like, a, ooh, I can do this face. And then, of course, it's obvious what's happening. And it would be pretty normal to have the other characters talk about this amongst themselves. But, of course, they have to make sure that the line is in there that, oh, when we use our powers against her, she absorbs the power. And then the bad guy later spoon feeds that again, says it again, that the bangle absorbs their power, but it doesn't always do it, and then it's just arbitrarily used, and it's like they keep attacking her. They know that this is gonna happen, but it keeps happening because they keep attacking her with no strategy. And remember, this whole time, they're, switching places. But the switching places ends up being super arbitrary and then just goes away when the bad guy dies. And for most of the final fight, actually, I counted, they only switch places once in the final fight. So if anybody's seen Jujutsu Kaisen or Juju Gugu, the fight with the big muscly guy, and I don't remember his name, the guy that claps his hands and switches places, right? There's a fight in Juju Gugu where the main character, Yuji, is fighting with his friend who, when he claps his hands, they switch places. And when they fight like that, when they fight together, they strategically switch places so they can be dodging and then going into a punch. They don't do that at all in this movie. They don't switch places to, switch places into a punch. They just are in the final fight when they could have and should have been masters of knowing how to switch places. They don't become masters of switching places, and they don't use it at all, and it in fact just goes away and doesn't matter anymore. So it was literally only in the movie clearly to be a nerf for Captain Marvel. It's so dumb. It's disappointing because I want good female superhero movies, you know? Bless. Speaking of good superhero movies, the Amazing Spider-Man movies, everybody knows, they're amazing. If you've not seen those, go watch them because they're so good. But they gave everybody a superhero that they would want to be. We got a girl, we got a boy, we got people of every race and color and shape and size in the second one, which is wonderful. But Marvel can't even get, well, I guess they got one. WandaVision was the only woman we got that was, fun and good. And, I think Kamala Khan is really cute, but she's, 14, She's a babby, and she's fun to watch, but I would like a cool, female superhero for me to be oh, that one's my favorite, you know? And also, the villain was so boring. I know not everybody can be, being Tom Hiddleston in the first Thor movie, but come on. This villain was just generic and just dumb. But that's my review. Has anyone actually seen this movie? Thanks for watching this year-old Patreon stream re-upload. If you want to see the Patreon streams actually live or in full, then you can check out my Patreon because you can get access for just $1 a month. And a big thank you to Mel, or Pocket Leaves, who's editing these streams down for me so I can focus on my main channel videos. You can check out Mel's work on either their channel Pocket Leaves or Pocket Cons, and sometimes you'll even see me in their con vlogs. It's a special occurrence when it happens. But as always, if you're just watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, then you're supporting this channel too. So thank you. Bye!